I really don't like y'all because the fact that you couldn't find a woman in your own country. These passport bros, I'm gonna be so for real with y'all. Y'all are so ugly. Y'all are ugly. Y'all are uneducated. You ran to a third world country. Ooh, I hate y'all. Good night.
Imagine an out of shape, unattractive woman telling you that if you don't want her, you're a predator. Got a great video for you guys. Is this the next grifter in the manosphere? Does she look like Pearl? Does she look like Pearl? All right, let's get into this video. It's called Passport Bros Must Be Stopped. Very clickbaity, so let's tune in.
Passport bros are guys who travel outside of the country to find women because the women in the US are not as traditional as they would like.
3 stages you're gonna go through being a passport bro. First stage is that initial leap of faith. You finally buy your ticket, nervously fire up the dating apps, getting more matches than you know what to do with. They become your guides, taking you on adventures, teaching you things you can't learn on Duolingo, like what poha means and why the hell they yell it at soccer games. You're gonna rack up so many new, interesting experiences during this time. The second stage, assembling your crew. You continue to work from your laptop, the month ends, and goddamn, you have spent 50% less than your boring life in your home country. Food, housing, dating are sometimes 1/3 the price here. You start to turn it up. This is when you make your international friend group and start doing group activities, mansion parties, weekend trips, helicopter tours. If you thought it was cheap before, wait until you pull your resources together. Finally is the stability phase. This is when you stay in your favorite countries a little bit longer and you hire services to do all the mundane activities you don't like doing. For me, it was laundry, house cleaning, cooking. Eat out or order in every single meal. With prices this cheap, why not? And you just freed up an extra 2 hours a day for personal growth. Trainers, diet plans, coaching are all accessible to you now. People talk shit on the passport bros like we're lazy, we need to level up before we leave, but being financially stable puts you in a situation that makes leveling up as easy as possible. Just don't get lost in the sauce. I've seen many fallen soldiers along the way. Listen to me, if you decide to post about your journey, please prepare for the hate. My page never stops getting attacked and never will. If you share your life, you will get it too, but learn to love it, and I'll see you guys out here.
Is there a sign up button on here? Because sign me up. That looks very attractive. I want to become a passport bro too. Honestly, if you have the ability to work from your laptop in a foreign country, we're so fortunate to earn in dollars and live in the US that other countries become so much more affordable. And it's not just for passport bros. This is just like for anybody who wants to travel, but for passport bros, it's like I almost kind of get it. Later on in the video, I'm going to explain to you guys why I consider myself
Told you she's grifting. Passport girly. So why did you say the passport bros must be stopped? We're going to find out in this video. Did she change her mind?
a passport girl.
Let's get our passports. She's still not gonna choose you, baby. I'm sorry.
It gives manipulative and desperation. Just saying.
For them to go in search of spouses who they feel are going to be more subservient to them and do what they want, basically some sort of indentured servitude.
It's easier for these men to go overseas, get one of these victims.
A lot of these passport bros are exploiting a power imbalance economically.
Y'all are taking advantage of these women.
If you feel that you need to go to Antarctica to marry a polar bear,
but they're still doing that, oh, we're just gonna leave and go to another country and find women, or you're gonna die alone. Good luck dying alone with your cats.
Get a polar bear.
Yeah, it is much easier for these passport bros to go to other countries and exploit younger, more impressionable, less educated, or
I like how the idea is if we go to another country for a better life, that we're predatory automatically. We're not just clever. We're not just rational. We're predatory. We're trying to exploit women. We're not trying to exploit women in America, but we try to go to another country and exploit women. I don't get it. Didn't you hear what he said? You live better at a cheaper price. Your money goes further. That's why. And the women are much nicer. That's why.
uneducated girls living in poverty.
You know why? Because we don't.
That is so incredibly rude because these people have a different culture, and in their culture, it is normal. It's not like they're doing something out of the norm by being a traditional wife, by cooking and cleaning. It's normal in their culture. It is not wrong to see an opportunity for the lifestyle that you want, see a place where it exists, and then go there.
Listen,
Women that need
women
them.
are raised to be wives. They learn everything from birth, from their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
It's not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
Y'all know y'all don't.
Wives in other countries.
We need each other. Men need women, don't lie. And we need men too. That's just the way it is.
I want to say this because this is the point that women don't understand. No, we don't need you. You guys need us. We want you. Okay? If a girl's not in my crib, I'm still going to cook. I'm still going to clean. I'm still going to make up my bed. I'm still going to do laundry. But I would like if she was here to cook, clean, and do the laundry. So I don't need her, but I want her. So girls, y'all got it wrong. We don't need y'all. We want y'all. And y'all prefer to be desired anyway.
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single. Why? I want to be married.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas?
If men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood, for their resources, to have a good life. And I don't think that that is a good thing.
Well, a lot of men want to be depended on because it gives them purpose.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
The only men who like to go overseas to find a partner is men who like to prey on vulnerable women. Because when you go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or Eastern Europe.
Imagine somebody telling you you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable because you were just born in a different country, so therefore you're vulnerable. Like what?
Or wherever these places are that are overseas. I'm assuming you mean they're more biddable, that they're less outspoken, they don't demand anything of you, that they're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity.
What do you mean?
That is so messed up. These countries are beautiful. The entire planet Earth is just magnificent. It blows my mind that God has created these waterfalls, these mountains. The entire world is beautiful and has so much to offer, so many resources. And so to look at another country and be like, oh, they just want to leave. They want to run away from their poverty-stricken. They have family there. They have friends there. They don't want to leave. And especially if they're already living in the country, it's not like they're looking for somebody specifically to bring them to the United States. If somebody was already in the United States, then that would be like different. But like,
imagine an out of shape, unattractive woman telling you that if you don't want her, you're a predator. If you don't want her, you want to take advantage of people. Right? So if I don't want you, I'm a predator. I want to go overseas and prey on people because I don't want you. That's gaslighting. She's the predator. She's trying to prey on you and try to convince you that if you try to find someone better, find a place better, that you're the creep. No, girl, you're the creep. She's the real creep.
Why does it matter to you so much that men want to travel abroad to be with a more traditional woman? If that's what they want, then that's what they get. That's fine.
And I sincerely hope that those ding-dongs go wherever they go and meet up with green card girlies who take them to the fucking cleaners. Their whole voyage to find a woman overseas is to find someone to subjugate. Someone who does.
Like I said, if we don't want you, then you're wishing us bad. You hope that the girls take us you hope that something bad happens to us. You see the real evil? It's not us, guys. It's not us. The evil's all inside some of these modern women. Not all, but some of these modern women, right? Oh, I hope they take you to the cleaners. You're only going there because you're a predator. You want to prey on girls. Not one person said we want a better life. That we see how bad things have gotten in the West and we want a better life. Not one person saying that. Everybody's a predator. I hope that those girls take advantage of you. You want girls that are not smart. Why would we want something? We want something that's better. Why can't you see that we see a better life for us overseas? Why is that we want something worse? Why is that we're evil people? I can't believe this is the narrative and it goes unchallenged. No one challenged this narrative.
Doesn't talk back, cooks and cleans as pretty much of service. It's never about finding a deep connection, a friendship, a bond. It's about a slave. Every one of these passport bros are men that none of us want here. Not a single one. I sincerely hope that the minute that those girls get here and they get their green card, they turn into Houdini and disappear. And that's what a lot of these dudes don't understand. These girls are in it for the bag. They don't like you. They don't want you.
This is so bitter. I hate that feeling of just everything you're doing is wrong. Everything is gonna go bad for you. It just feels so bad.
For a woman young enough to have children, because I don't have children, I want to be a dad, so I'll give you everything if you give me everything. Couldn't even get to that point. But I could have that conversation with a woman in the Philippines, like I had with Jayan, and she would say, okay, tell me more.
The only reason an Asian woman would marry you is because of the prospect of a better life.
You go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or wherever these places are that are overseas. They're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity.
You may or may not be able to speak English properly.
Woke up with all these videos of women attacking the passport bros.
I hope she rips them apart.
Oh wait, let me just take a sip of the coffee that my passport boyfriend made me. As I was saying, when you really don't care why they had to fly abroad to find a wife, a girlfriend, then why are you making all these hate videos? If you don't care at all, why are you reacting that way?
Right?
Girls making these content, saying all these nasty words against the women were brought by the Western guy to their countries is just an example why they don't want you.
Let me get this straight.
Yeah, exactly. If they're obviously so angry about it because they feel personally rejected, and instead of facing reasons why possibly they could be being rejected, it's more just like, oh no, it's their fault. It's the men's fault for needing to go overseas, instead of maybe perhaps I'm managing my relationship incorrectly. And it's a hard balance. Let's not lie. It is difficult to always be in harmony with the opposite sex because we do have a lot of differences, and it does make it a lot easier for the men when the woman is more traditional or more submissive to the man.
I've been telling men for years that you don't want them, you don't need them, they don't meet your standards, that they don't treat you right. You can pay for your own hair, you can pay for your own nails, you can afford your own home, you can afford your own car, and are good for nothing. You're strong, you're independent. Then you get mad when these men go to another country to actually find a woman that has the qualities that they are looking for in a wife. Make it make sense. I also want to talk about why this mindset that so many Western women have is actually extremely problematic. Because not only are you putting down the men who are going overseas with pure intentions, you're also putting down the woman from these other countries solely off of the fact that they were not brought up in a Western culture. Because you're calling them uneducated, you're calling them poor, you're calling them weak, you're calling them vulnerable. You're creating a superiority complex where you are at the top and women from all these other countries are at the bottom. Now let me tell you something.
And that ain't the truth. These girls look better than y'all. They're more feminine than y'all, right? They're soft and feminine. In the West, we have strong and independent. We don't want strong and independent. We want soft and feminine. Like her. She's lovely. Why would we not want that? We will travel overseas for that. They make planes for that. Yes.
If you were really superior, the men would not be leaving. And you would not be single.
The fact is that she is speaking facts, because when I traveled abroad to live, I realized that the women there live in just such a different manner that it was very hard to not compete with, but to fit in, because the girls they didn't wear makeup as much and they dressed up a lot. They were very girly, very feminine. Even in the way they talked, it almost sounded forced to me. I was like, why are we talking like this? Like, oh wait, why are we talking like so high all the time? And like, it just seems like everything is like so flirty, and like, how am I supposed to talk like this? Like, how am I supposed to act like that? Like, this is just not normal for me. And so I was just kind of like, why do they have just such a completely different way of being that it's almost not human, but it's very feminine, and I'm supposed to fit into a culture like this where they don't wear as much makeup, and just the whole dynamic was completely different. And it was just so shocking to me that other women, and it is a more attractive feminine energy to dress up nice and to be more natural and to just talk in a way that's very calming and not so aggressive, not like fighting back all the time. Because a lot of the times in the US when people flirt, it's kind of like aggressive, like fighting or something strange like that. But in other countries, it's just more naturally, it just kind of flows better. And so I just try to fit into that, although it's difficult because it's not just about being feminine, it's about the whole culture, it's about the whole dynamic of the entire country. It's just how they live their lives, it's how things play out in the end. And it is kind of crazy because I don't think that it's bad for women to decide what they want in life, decide that I want to be able to financially provide as well, because that's good too. And who's to say that that's wrong for a woman to do that? Because times women outlive their male counterpart, and they need to make sure that they know what they're doing, that they can manage their finances okay. And so if
but you never live without men. At the end of the day, even if your boyfriend dies or husband dies, you still need men for police, firemen, builders, bricklayers, people that run the infrastructure. Women, y'all never living in the world without men. Let's be real. If we all disappeared tomorrow, everybody, everywhere will be a third world country. So to try to live without us, it's not a reality. You won't live without us. They should just stop.
a woman can provide for herself and she knows how to make money, that's great. That's good. And I don't agree with, however, the idea of women saying like, well, I don't need a man. I can make my own money, so I don't need a man. Because we do need comfort. We do need somebody to be there. We need our partner. We need to bounce ideas off each other. We need to be there for each other. We need to support our men. And that's something that these women from foreign countries do incredibly well, is be supportive to the man. It's not just about, I can do it myself. It's like, okay, you can do it yourself and that's great. And go ahead if you want to, if you need to in certain circumstances, so you can have more control over whatever it is you're doing. However, we both need each other. And so it's about being vulnerable. And when the woman allows some of that vulnerability to the man, he can support her and he feels good about that because he wants to be able to provide for the lady. But if she's just is yelling at him for trying to do that, I guess, then it's just like bad. I don't know. It's very complicated, but I can see why men are more attracted to women abroad.
Good at cook, in cleaning. Also, I will serve you.
Oh my God, get out of here, sis. Over here in the West, we don't play that, okay? We're strong, independent queens who don't need no man. What you talking about serving?
I could offer my whole self. No secrets and all. Loyalty, faithfulness, everything that could make him happy.
You ever hear a Western woman talking about how she's gonna make her man happy? No. You know what we hear from the West? What a man can do to make me happy. What a man can bring to the table for me. What I can benefit. How I could spend his money.
Well, in my experience anyway, in a relationship, in a family abroad, you have the man and the woman and the kids. A lot of times they don't have time to be messing around about the roles. I mean, in the US, women have a lot of work opportunities to work very comfortably, but imagine if you're living in a place where you still make your own food, you crop your own food, and then everything is going to be very traditional because that's just the way it has to be. The man is going to have to do more physical labor because the woman doesn't have other opportunities to make money in other ways. And so it's like in other countries, a lot of the time, they just don't waste time with it. It's like, we don't have time to be wasted about who is going to carry a gigantic bale of a bunch of, I don't know, potatoes or something from like 2 miles of distance, and the woman's not going to be like, should I do that today? I can do it today. I can do it myself. I can carry these potatoes, because it would take her like 3 days. And so it's like, in other countries, why are they going to make such a big deal about who can provide, who can do all these masculine things, when it just wouldn't work if the woman tried to do it?
They're very demure, they're very modest, they're not combative, they're not trashy, they're not outspoken and loud and obnoxious. They are very honorable women, in the sense that they don't just do something and think like, oh, what is this effect going to have on me? They think, oh, what is this going to make my dad look like? What is this going to make my mom look like? What is this going to make my grandma look like? So, and that's a really good girl to have around, a woman that considers what her actions are going to affect not only her, but everybody around her.
It's true that a modest woman and a woman with morals who considers how her actions are going to affect everybody involved, because there's always so many people involved in everything that we do, because we can't just make decisions based on ourselves, because it really impacts other people so deeply. And when we're aware of that, then we can make better decisions.
What is a passport?
Okay, passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women, because we're all apparently so woke and so terrible, and Western women don't want to be wives, that they are now going to other countries to find wives.
That's like which countries?
Southeast Asia, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic.
So it's like the opposite of the mail order bride.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Okay, so instead of ordering out, instead of using stamps.com,
what is the mail order bride? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not that hip onto TV. I didn't watch a lot of TV as a kid. I actually watch a lot more YouTube than TV. So what's the mail order bride? Please comment in the comments. I want to know.
Yeah, and bringing them here.
Right,
They're like, we want to get out.
It feels more expensive, but
It is. And so a lot of these men get remote jobs. And so they go there and they live in these countries, and then they meet these women. And then women in the Western world, specifically the United States, are so pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to all these countries where these women don't even know how to speak English. They can't even read. They're so uneducated.
Yeah.
And then the men film them.
And that's the thing. Look, she's another person saying this. Every girl says the same thing. That the girls overseas are stupid. They're poor. They're vulnerable. You're going there to exploit them. Right? Like, if the whole world is just in shambles and America is so great, America is so much better than everybody else, every person is saying this. This is kind of how racism seems to like people of different colors, is that people will look at you and they'll look down on you like everything about your race is below me and I'm above you. And in my mind, I don't look at things that way. There's no way you're going to convince me that you're better than me because you're of a superior race. That's nonsense. Or you're not going to convince me you're better than me or ahead of me or you're my superior because you're in a more favorable country at birth. This is why people travel. You know, my parents came from a third world country to America, so I'm the real passport bro, right? And the reality of it is that the way we look at things in my household wasn't the same as Americans did. You know what I'm saying? It was very, very different. And this is why I see this culture clash right now between foreign women and Western women. The reality of it is foreign women, they don't look at the world like you're from America, you're above us. They don't look at it that way. They don't care that they don't have the best laundromats, right? They don't care they don't have the best roads. America's like the place of the big roads. Oh my God, you guys got big. That's how the world looks at us. We got big roads, you know. That's it. They don't look at themselves as less than you because they feel like they're just as feminine as you. They could cook better than you. They could fuck better than you. You know what I'm saying? Your man's going to be more attracted to them than you. You know what I'm saying? So they don't feel less than you. So a lot of women saying this, what they're really doing is they're gaslighting, right? They're projecting that they feel vulnerable, that they feel weak, that they feel uneducated. Because the women in America are not super, super duper smart. They're not. America's standard of education is below the world standard. Let's get that correct.
Themselves with these women and like show themselves on dates, and the women are so elegant and they're so well spoken and they're so traditional. And they're like, look at these women. Yeah, passport bros, because Western women are so bad.
Did not know about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I'm here.
Interesting. I mean, I did marry a woman from abroad. I mean, she's been in America since she was 12, but still, she's Israeli.
So here you go.
Yeah.
You're like a reverse passport bro.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she came here and she got citizenship, so.
You didn't import her?
I did not import my wife, no.
I don't know who I was talking to, but I was explaining to them that my husband is from Peru. And they were like, oh, you had an import? And he laughed. And I was like, what? What did you just say? I had an import? I traveled to Peru to experience the culture because we have Peruvian family. I have Peruvian roots in my blood. And so I was curious. And I just also wanted to travel and stuff. And so I was like, well, I'll go to Peru and learn about my culture, you know? And so I was there and I met a man, and he's my now husband. And so we fell in love, and it just makes everything exciting. Every little tiny thing. I mean, like my boyfriend had never had certain foods before, like these little gummies, like he didn't have them. And he's like, these are strawberry flavored and it looks like a strawberry. Like, this is so weird, you know? And so it's just so much fun to see him try foods and to be.
She's amazed that he tried American candy. Oh my God, look, yeah, we have all this cool candy. Only girls can talk about this kind of stuff, right? America, we have this cool candy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she's a passport cis,
around
right?
my family, and
she's technically a passport cis because she found her man in Peru, but she's Peruvian as well. So I don't know if we count that the same. You know what I'm saying? I guess she wasn't traveling for that reason. She was traveling to visit her family, but ultimately she's a passport cis. So she doesn't think passport bros need to be stopped, because we're kind of close to the end of her video, and I haven't heard her make the argument that passport bros need to be stopped, essentially.
Share his culture, because the way that they do things there are so different, and it is just so strange because the women in Peru are different than here as well. But I'm also Peruvian. I also have like Peruvian roots, so it's just kind of like strange. But the whole idea of passport bros is just very interesting to me, because I've been in that situation just as a passport girl.
You need to go to Uganda and get you a pearl, get you a queen. That's what you need. These American women, they're not no good. Get you a woman from Uganda. I'm telling you. This is my third time telling you what to do.
I thought he was going to say his third woman. I love her hair and just her smile. She looks very feminine. And let me know if you guys like this video. Make sure you become a friend-scriber. You do that by clicking the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
What do you guys think about the video of her? Because I think ultimately, like, my takeaway from this was, one, the title was clickbaity as hell, right? So, you know, she don't want passport bros to be stopped. She's a passport girly, as she calls it. But ultimately, the movement of the passport bros is going to keep growing. And I know people saying the red pill is dying. The red pill is not dying, right? We just have some bad actors that are obviously going to disappear as the community grows. Ultimately, the red pill identity is based off of understanding, looking at the world differently than you were told to, right? You're taking the world and saying, all right, this is everything I was taught, and I'm going to look at it slightly differently. And you're going to be objective. You're going to be open. That's what the whole red pill is about, right? It's about, are you going to fall for the dogma, right, in the blue pill side, or are you going to open your eyes to the truth? And mad people are still not red pilled when it comes to just life as a whole. I'm all the way red pill when it comes to life, as far as like everything's on a chopping block, and I'm willing to observe everything, and you know what I'm saying, you know, question essentially, is this the truth or is this not the truth? For example, I'm plant-based. I don't eat meat. I don't eat any dead animals. And people look at me like, oh, but you need meat to be strong. That's what we were told. You need protein to be strong. That's what we were told. Protein is the most talked about substance when it comes to fitness, right? That it's the hype beast of all hype beasts, right? Protein. It means absolutely nothing, because protein is in virtually everything. So it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? When people buy into the lie, so they buy big tubs of protein thinking that this is health, a bunch of white powder, and I'm going to throw it in a drink and I'm going to be healthy. And because the powder is from all these healthy plants. And I always ask the question, well, why not just eat the plants? Right? Why let the plants go to a factory where some guy you don't know takes it, mushes it up, separates it, you know, does all these chemical processes, right? So the protein you get is from a chemical process, right? And so why not just eat the whole plant? Why trust this scientist, this mad scientist creation of protein? Because let me tell you something, you can't tell fake protein from real protein. You have no idea. No one knows. There's no way. You can have no protein competition for people to taste this protein versus that protein and tell me what protein it is. You have no idea. Protein doesn't have a quote unquote taste per se. You know what I'm saying? It's a bland substance. We have no taste buds for protein, and yet people believe it. Why? Because they get bigger. Bigger is not necessarily stronger. Stronger is not necessarily bigger is not necessarily healthier. You know what I'm saying? You will get mass, but you also can get mass just taking SARMs. You know what I'm saying? You can get mass from just taking, you know, PEDs. I don't do none of this stuff. I'm a personal trainer. I actually became a personal trainer because I needed a personal trainer because I wanted to learn about how the body moves. This is how the red pill really is. So anyway, I'm getting into all to this because I want you guys to understand that we have so much going on in this manosphere. You know, new people coming in, old people going out. You know what I'm saying? People like me who are trying to show you a different spin on this whole ideology, if you will, or this whole mindset, or this whole praxeology. You know what I'm saying? Is that we need to be open. If something is true, the truth should be able to be proven. It should be self-evident, right? And if you want to live, it makes sense to eat living things. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to live eating something that's dead? I know I'm going on a rant on this, but I'm just saying, just think about that. Anyway, like this video, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Almost at 2,000 subs, on the way to 10,000 subs. I got collaborations coming up. So until next time, people, I'll see you. All right.